And, some people say deservedly so, because he cheated. He had a beautiful family, and he cheated and lost his family.
Buckle up, folks, because the tale I've got today has all the twists and turns of a soap opera. Infidelity, fear, betrayal, and justice. It's got it all. And the stars of this real-life drama, none other than the once beloved celebrity couple, Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto. This story is all about Shirley's harrowing experience, a nightmare she has finally woken up from. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Live Channel. In today's video, I'm pulling the curtain back on a story that's been simmering under the surface for a while now. Yes, we're talking about the Shirley Strawberry saga. As per insider reports, Shirley knew Ernesto was unfaithful, but she was trapped in a sphere of fear, unable to break free or even voice her distress. But guess what, folks? The tables have turned. Ernesto's recent arrest has blown the lid off his nefarious deeds, and Shirley is finally free of his clutches.
Sometimes when your friends or people you love are going through it and they start talking, sometimes they just want you to listen.
So let's throw it back to a couple years ago. Shirley Strawberry, a woman known for her grit and resilience, posted a video on her social accounts. In the video, she bared her soul, revealing the painful truth about her domestic abuse ordeal at the hands of her husband. But bam! The video disappeared as quickly as it surfaced, leaving us to wonder about the circumstances leading to its deletion and the pressures Shirley might face. Here's a juicy tidbit from our insiders. Shirley knew about Ernesto's cheating, but she kept mum. Why, you ask? Picture this: living in perpetual fear, walking on eggshells, scared to demand a divorce or spill the beans about Ernesto's extramarital affairs because the man was a ticking time bomb.
$1 million fraud scheme and a lot of victims. This all happened through an alleged growth and coaching business, part of it run on social media.
But what's this? Ernesto's recent arrest came like a breath of fresh air for Shirley. My insiders are buzzing that Shirley's spilling the tea to the detectives, ready to bring Ernesto down for his deeds. Shirley is more cooperative than ever. She wants to hold Ernesto accountable, said a source close to the matter. The arrest could tip the scale in Shirley's favor. Rumor has it that Ernesto might be slapped with more charges, all thanks to Shirley's statements. It seems like Shirley's turning the tables around, becoming a beacon of justice, ensuring that Ernesto pays his dues.
Move on. And it's nothing wrong with that, because that is life. You have to move on. That's how we learn. We make mistakes, we move on.
Remember that video I mentioned earlier? It vanished without a trace. Many believe that it's not just coincidence, but something darker, a sign of interference or manipulation, maybe. Deleting the video underlines the complex dynamics of Shirley's situation, the barriers she must have faced while calling out the abuse. Shirley's reluctance to reach out for help underscores the terror Ernesto instilled in her. That's a sneak peek into the life of an abuse victim, caught in a web of control, struggling to find an escape route. What's more, Shirley's cooperation with law enforcement shows her steely determination to deliver justice. She won't back down. Shirley's committed to ensuring no one else falls prey to Ernesto, said another insider. But there's more. With Shirley's cooperation, Ernesto might be looking at an avalanche of new charges. The higher the stakes for Ernesto, the stronger the case against him. And that's all down to Shirley, ready to turn the heat up on Ernesto, ensuring he pays for every last bit of his actions. Take a trip back to June 2022. The law caught wind of two con artists living it up in a rental, leaving behind a trail of rental fraud. They were shacking up in a place that wasn't technically theirs, all while fixing the place up with funds from hot checks. They weren't just roomies. They were partners in crime, neglecting their dues and using deceptive means to keep the place running. My insiders tell me they were dodging rent while sprucing up the place with bounced checks. Fast forward a bit, and bam! The scam artists were sent packing. By September 16th, their old haunt was up for grabs again, a clear indication that the law was putting a stop to their shady game. I am, of course, talking about Ernesto Williams, known as Shirley Strawberry's legal husband, as well as his partner, known as Erica King. Now, remember that pad at 980 Pine Grove Road, the one that Shirley and Ernest called home? It was on the market in May, but found no takers. By June, it was taken off the listing. This tells us that Shirley and Ernest's living conditions were on shaky ground with changes looming on the horizon. Fans thought that Erica, Ernest's live-in friend, was just an innocent bystander, an unwitting accomplice in his scams. But as the saying goes, things aren't always what they seem. As it turns out, Erica King was more than just Ernesto's roommate. She was his mistress, the same woman he cheated on Shirley with. Moreover, she was his partner in crime, lending a helping hand in his fraudulent schemes.
I would also request that there be an ankle monitor placed on Mr. Williams, as well as that have no internet access at all and no contact with any minors or animals.
Adding up the clues paints a mind-boggling picture. Shirley and Ernesto hadn't been sharing a roof for a while. Ernesto was cozied up in a swanky mansion next door with his mistress. Who would have thought? Right. The whole investigation kicked off from the Pine Grove Road property. When rent started to pile up unpaid, alarm bells started ringing. This led to the cops digging deeper into their finances, and voila, their fraud was out in the open. Roll back to June when the Roswell police rolled up their sleeves to dig into a rental fraud case. And here's where it gets interesting. Erica's name was Mia on the dispossessory report. This discrepancy tossed up questions about her role in the whole financial fiasco. Ernest's lawyer went all in, defending his client by stating that Ernest had never played the lawyer game or done anything of the sort. But Erica, on the other hand, was another story. She put out a lawyer act to spring Ernest out of the slammer, but that landed her in hot water. Yes, you're not mistaken. It's straight out of a Hollywood action movie. Ernesto's mistress changed her name, adding the surname Rothschild, presumably to avoid suspicion. And then she went to the prison to meet her lover, posing as his lawyer. What exactly she was trying to achieve is unknown. Perhaps she simply wanted to see Ernesto, or maybe she wanted to exchange or obtain some information. In any case, she was exposed, and now she has joined Ernesto behind bars. Ernest wasn't off the hook either. He was staring down a laundry list of charges, including felony conspiracy, theft by deception, services theft, bouncing checks.
And there's going to be numerous upcoming warrants coming in this case. I believe Roswell told us today when we checked for an update.
The most disgusting thing is that on his laptop during the search, the police found photos and videos with the participation of minors. Erica's rap sheet was no shorter, with charges like aggravated identity fraud, forgery, and even unauthorized law practice.
He's considered dangerous. He's considered dangerous.
It is reported that Erica was initially released on bail. However, on July 23, 2022, Erica was thrown back into jail. She was facing 3 warrants for theft, criminal trespassing, and being a Florida fugitive. Now Florida pops up again here because Ernest had plans to visit his girlfriend there, adding another twist to the story.
We consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida.
Due to their co-defendant status, the authorities hit the brakes on any contact between Ernest and Erica. More links to Florida surfaced when it came out that Erica, aka Erica King Hewley Rothschild, had a place there. Ernest, meanwhile, was labeled a threat, with future warrants looming over his head, suggesting he might be up to more mischief. Reports surfaced of him owning illegal firearms like a Glock and a sawed-off shotgun with a silencer, as recorded in Fulton County records dated May 5, 2022. These illegal weapons raised eyebrows about his criminal involvement and potential violent tendencies. These illegally modified firearms painted Ernest as a dangerous man. While the charges related to these firearms aren't detailed in the text, their mention underscores the severity of his illegal activities. These weapons are a red flag for Ernest's involvement in more than just rental fraud. I would like to remind you that Ernesto had a previous criminal record. He was not even allowed to possess a registered weapon. As you can understand, Shirley's husband was not just a petty thief. It's clear why Shirley fears him and why domestic violence persisted for so long in their family. Interestingly enough, the police, who initially became interested in a minor violation such as unpaid rent, which doesn't carry a prison sentence but rather a fine, gradually uncovered a massive scheme worth $1 million, which you are already aware of. In case someone has forgotten, let me remind you. The online scandal emerged because, in addition to minor fraud related to rent and such, Ernesto and Erica together defrauded entrepreneurs out of approximately $1 million.
Actually position themselves as experts in the fields of business growth, development, coaching, things of that nature.
According to news sources, they convinced people to pay them for their business expertise. Ernesto and his accomplice deceived businessmen, telling them tales of how they would help develop their brands, increase their social media followers, and boost their income.
To request more and more payment, promising that those services and goods would be later provided, but never making good on those promises.
Naturally, after payment was made for their services, the clients received nothing in return. It is reported that there have been over a dozen victims identified so far. However, the police believe that there may be many more victims. The revelation of his criminal scheme began with a simple, unpaid bill.
If you have had any dealings with King or Williams, call police.
Let's swing the spotlight back to Shirley. In the twisted narrative, she emerges as the primary prey of Ernesto's machinations. When the curtain lifted on Ernesto's series of misdemeanors, one couldn't help but lend credence to the hushed testimonies circulating within their inner circle. Word on the street was, Shirley wasn't just another character in Ernesto's game. She was caged in a sphere of terror that Ernesto had methodically created around her. Adding a new layer to the plot, it's worth noting that Shirley's fears weren't baseless or unfounded. There were recorded incidents where Ernesto's unpredictable behavior had scared her. She had confided in her close friends about the mental distress she was enduring, the constant fear of what Ernesto might do next. In this light, Shirley wasn't merely a victim of a fraudulent scheme, but also a prisoner trapped in a relationship characterized by fear and control. Remember, Ernesto's arrest wasn't the end of his saga, but the beginning of justice for Shirley. Now that she's free, she's aiding in tightening the noose around Ernesto's neck, and it's only a matter of time before he answers for his actions. And I want to know what you think, folks. Did you expect this from Ernesto? How do you think this will pan out for Shirley? Do you think she'll finally get the peace she deserves? Let me know in the comments below. Your opinion matters to me. Thank you all for tuning in and joining me on this wild ride through the fascinating world of celebrity rumors. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that like button Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest updates. Until next time, stay curious, stay entertained, and keep those comments coming. Peace out.